Hey y'all, it's me, Cody. Welcome to the Codi Knits podcast. This is episode 70 something, I believe. Oh, and Diamond has joined me. She was chewing on her bone, and I guess she just knows whenever I start talking that it's time to make her cameo up here. So here she is. Hello, everyone. I missed you. This is Diamond. If you're first time viewer or just now joining, she's my beautiful little doxy. And she's really the star of the show. Anyway, before I was interrupted by this cuteness, my name is Cody again, and I can be found in a few places. I am most active on Instagram, where I am nurse_Codi, C-O-D-I, and let's see, Ravelry, I'm Codi Knits. There's a Ravelry podcast group called Codi Knits Podcast, and of course on YouTube I have the Codi Knits Podcast. So yeah. I hope you are all doing well. It's been a little bit longer than I really wanted, but just some things going on. I haven't felt 100% lately. I've been having some tummy issues and whatnot, and I'm actually going. I had an ultrasound because they were concerned about my gallbladder, and it was fine, of course, and they put me on a prescription strength PPI, which basically is an antacid, which has helped some, but I'm still having some issues. So they are wanting, I'm having an endoscopy, an EGD, where they go down your throat and look at your throat and your stomach, all that kind of stuff. I cough when I eat, and then just been having a cough for a long time, and I had a workup, and it's not lung issues, so it's most likely silent reflux kind of stuff, because I don't necessarily have heartburn. Like, the burn doesn't hurt, so I don't really feel that. So anyway, we'll see. They think I actually have an ulcer, so that's why they really want to go down, so we'll figure that out. And but most likely it's nothing. They won't find anything. But anyway, thankfully I have pretty good insurance, right? So, today is actually Monday. I believe it's the 18th of June of 2018. And I got to come home a little early from work. Don't tell anyone. It was really bright and sunny, and then the clouds have ascended. It's been really sunny and hot here in Atlanta, and there's been a lot of afternoon thunderstorms and that kind of stuff, so that's pretty typical, but who knows. That's where the sun went. The keen-eyed among you may realize that things look a little different in the background. I've rearranged my living room area, so Betty Ann and Scott and John from the Sweet Tea No Shade podcast, I have rearranged, and I have a table now that's behind my couch, like a dining table. It's pushed up against it, and there's 4 chairs, and I basically put the TV kind of in the corner and kind of angled the couch off the back wall, which was against that wall, and it just made it feel a lot more cozy and more like home instead of like a dorm room. I'm going to get one more chair, like a comfy chair to go over here if I can find it, and a couple of bar stools, and I think I'll be good to go. And I need a couple more things to decorate the wall maybe, but who knows. By the time all that happens, I could be in a whole nother apartment. Hopefully they don't go up too much on the rent whenever it's time to renew, so I can stay. Anyway, I've been rambling and rambling. Sorry, I'm a little tired too, if you can't tell. But I wanted to do a podcast. There are a few reasons. I mentioned last time about a hat knit along, and it will go over, you know, till August or September, maybe October. Just depends on how things are going. If there's still a lot of participation and people are wanting to send in some hats, that's great. Because here, I mean, it really is like October-ish before it really gets cool. So we'll see. I was gonna, you know, it's like a summer knit along kind of thing. So, because they're smaller projects and they're a little easier to knit. Sometimes where I am is hot a lot, so I don't necessarily want to be knitting on something that's laying in my lap all the time. But I do have really good air conditioning, so I don't really have that problem too often. But I went and got a P.O. box today. So I wanted to share that address with you. And the address is P.O. Box 55548, Atlanta, Georgia 30308. So I will also put that in the on Ravelry. I'm gonna open up a thread, and it's gonna be the summer hat knit along, or whatever I call it, probably summer hat knit along. And in that thread, you will be able to find the P.O. box address as well. So you'll know, and that's where I'm gonna put whenever I receive a package. I will put it there, so you know I received it. I'll do my best to also, you know, thank you and all that kind of stuff. But that way, that's where I'm going to keep my list. And, you know, for every hat, you get an entry in to win a prize. And so, you know, I'll just keep a tally, you know, the date and your name, and then how many hats next to it. It'll be the date that I received it, there about. And then I'll put everybody's name in a hat and whatnot and draw from there. So I wanted to do that, and I have been doing some knitting, so I wanted to share with you that. So let's get started. First, I wanted to show you one of my admitted projects. So if you're new, admitted projects are ones that have been admitted, you know, because they're gonna take a while. They got to be there for a while, and so basically that is this. This is my Scrappy sock yarn blanket, and it's quite big. I forgot how many squares and everything I had, but I finished a row, and I just wanted to kind of go through them with you. Yeah, I'm gonna go through and show. So, there's this one. No, she wants to get under it. This one, this pretty yellow. My mom picked this one out when she was here. I had her come. She came and stayed with me. I took her to see Kenny Chesney in concert. It was her Christmas present. It finally was that, and we were sitting here chatting, and she picked out. I told her to pick a color, and she picked this one. And then there's this pretty blue, pretty colors, pretty. This one has sparkles in it. You can't really tell. So I'm sitting a little bit further away from the camera than I normally do, but this one was fun. Wah! Very neon green and yellow. This is a pretty pale yellow. All of these I have done. This one was fun. That one was fun. Pretty purples. This one was fun too. They were all fun. And then that one. So yeah, it's pretty. It's as long as I want it, but I'm working on the width, and I think, I don't know, maybe maybe 75% of the way done. I want it to be, I guess, I want it to be my wingspan without stretching it. So, got a little bit of way to go. Maybe. I might just do, you know, like this much more. So add 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'll probably add about 5 more rows. And I think that'll be big enough. And then I will put some kind of border around it. But I've been working on this for a couple of years, but I really do love it, and I enjoy knitting on it, and all the little mini skeins have come from you guys, and again, it means so much to me, and it reminds me of how loved I am and blessed, and yeah, I love this blanket. I can't wait. I can't wait to like be able to, now like when I'm knitting it, it's big enough it lays on my lap and like keeps me warm, but I can't wait till like it's all done and I can put my like I'll like wash it and get that wool wash smell on it. Me and Diamond will be fighting over this one. She thinks she always has to be under the covers. So workups are my whips, and I wanted to show you some of those. I do have a faux. I don't have any discharged objects, no finished objects, but I have a half, so no faux, but a hoe, I guess is what people call them. Half finished object, and that's the sock. The green isn't really coming out right. Maybe it's a little more yellowy green. I love this yarn. This yarn is from So Perfect Pearls. It's Jade. She has a podcast. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. So Perfect Pearls. It's 2 green for spring, and this is in her pearl sock base. 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And it comes in 400 yards, and this one was one of her little gobstopper balls. I've just loved it. This is the one I cast this on my in the airport before my DC trip. So did a 1x1 ribbing and then repeated, and then the heel and the foot are a little wonky because I don't know, it just was, but it has a heel flap and a gusset heel turn. I did some wonky stuff down here, but anyway, it fits really well, so that's all that matters. It just kind of looks a little weird in the back to me. Maybe I'm just used to what it looks like with a fish lips kiss heel. But I think this is the Eye of Partridge heel flap. And then I did the umbrella toe from K. Jones. I really like the way this toe fits. I don't feel it. If that makes any sense. I have princess feet, y'all. Seams in socks really bug me if they're not where they're supposed to be. Most of my hand knit socks are okay, but if it's like my socks get crooked or if they're in, it bothers me. So this is perfect. I don't feel it. I don't feel anything. So great job, Kay. This is in her, I believe it comes with her drippity drop socks pattern, but double check. I believe in the description it'll say, but definitely I didn't knit the drippity drop sock pattern, but I knit the toe. Really easy. The only thing is just where you where you do your decreases and stuff like that. And so it's very clever, and I love it. And then of course I cast on the other, and I tried to match them up, but I think for some reason see, I tried to start it at green and see how much is green on this one compared to this one. So I think I do have quite a long tail. So I probably could have gotten another couple of rounds with that, and that probably would have made it a little closer, but I couldn't be bothered casting it on. You can tell it's gonna be the same pair or whatever, so yay! I love it. So those are fun. And then I've been knitting on this a little bit more. I finished my hitchhiker shawl, which is a fingering weight shawl, and this one is also a fingering weight shawl, and I put this one aside to finish, to like focus more on the hitchhiker and get it all completed. And so I've now picked this back up, and it's all tangled up. And I love these things. I don't know if you guys have seen these, but they're like, basically they're just a tube, a pipe with a rubber stopper on it that has a little slit in it, and you just stick your needles in there, and it keeps them from poking through. Anyway, this is the Strand Winder shawl. Oh, I can't see. There you go. Or Strand Wanderer. Sorry, I said that wrong. Strand Wanderer. Leah Victoria Cube. I can't say her last name, but Leah Victoria. So this is this pattern is really designed for this particular type of yarn. That's what it looks like. It's very beautiful. This is what is this called? Wool Mice. And it is No Whale Watching is the colorway. No Whale Watching in Colorado. I think it's Colorado. CO. I could be wrong. This is superwash merino, 150 grams. Fingering weight. So anyway, I've been enjoying this. Is very well. Let me be honest. I'm gonna like this when it's done. It's really cool how it knits up. It's pretty simple, but these little sections are made with short rows, and they're not necessarily hard, but it's just like you can't really get in a flow because there's only like 4 or 5 stitches or whatever that you're working with, and before you turn, and so you're like turning back and forth, and you knit a few, so you can't. So in those sections, I can't get in a groove and just knit. But I really like how it's turning out. Look how cool that looks. So the other thing is this yarn it's beautiful colors. But I'm not 100% enjoying knitting it. And part of that is because, well, you can't really tell right now, but like it's very tightly spun. So it's twisting up on itself. And so while I'm holding it to knit, like it'll get it's all sits as twisted up, and then my tension gets off, and I have to go through and like pull it, and so I'm just not enjoying knitting this as much for things like that. And part of it is that the yarn curling up on itself. Part of it is these needles they're okay, but they're not as sharp as I like, and the taper of the point is it's short, and because I'm picking up a lot of stitches and things like that, I think I'm just not enjoying it. So I'm thinking about switching these out. I'm afraid it's going to change my tension a little bit though, and my tension is important for these sections. But last time I showed you this, I had knit, from here up to here, so I've knit a couple of repeats from this section up to here, so there's that. And maybe it's just been my mood too, like what I knit. My mood really does set the tone for what I knit too. So I might, pick this up one day and just be like, that's all I want to knit. But right now it's kind of like, and I don't knit on it I don't force myself to knit things if I don't feel like it. So there's that. It's not that I don't want to knit it, it's just I want to knit other things. And so yeah, anyway. I have a couple of new cast-ons though, speaking of mentioning wanting to knit. So the hat, knit along, I've cast on this beauty right here. Oh, you see these colors. Very beautiful. And this is 2 skeins of yarn. Let me show you, and then I'll read you the thing. This was a little kit from 3 Irish Girls. I picked it up at Eat, Sleep, Knit, I showed you. But it's this beautiful gray. This is like a worsted weight. Beautiful gray. And it's got specks of purple in there. So they paired it with this mohair. And so you hold this double. And then it came with this awesome pom-pom. So it's going to be awesome. So I'm going to make this kind of stochy. It's going to be cable-y. It's called the Winter something hat pattern. Sorry, I can't remember which one it is, but next time I'll tell you. But and this is a cool little pom-pom thing, and I got to figure out how you sew it on, but it has like a snap. So it's got this attached and then this thing, and so you can, maybe you don't even have to sew it on. Maybe you just stick this up where you would, pull together to join that hole at the top, and you could just stick that through and then have it like that. Maybe that's what it's supposed to be, so that it can come off so you can, when you wash the hat. Anybody know? Let me know. That's what I'm thinking. What's the yarn, you're asking? The yarn is here. This is 3 Irish Girls. The worsted weight one is called Spring Veil Worsted. It's 100% merino. The colorway is called When Doves Cry. Oh. But this is 3.5 ounces and it is 205 yards. The recommended needle size is 6 to 7. I'm using a bigger one than that. I'll tell you about the needles in a minute. And this mohair is Mara, M-E-A-R-A, Miara, kid mohair. It's 86% kid mohair, 14% nylon. Let's see, 15 grams, 220 yards. And the colorway is called Day Glow. It's beautiful. It's like a pinky purpley. It's kind of weird to describe it. It's like pink, but purple. Does that make any sense? I don't know how else to describe it. I don't know if you guys can tell, but see how it looks kind of pink, but it's purple? Does that make sense? Anyway, I'm knitting these on some new to me needles I picked up. They're Knitter's Pride Dreams. These are the 16-inch circulars, or 40 centimeters, and these are 5mm US 8. So I think it's making a great fabric, because I want this to be drapey and slouchy. I'm probably going to give this to Kirby. So I think it's making a good fabric. So I like this size. But they're beautiful. I love the red. For those of you who don't know, they're circular, and they're wooden, and they make these tips a little smaller, so that the circumference of your circle, it works better for things like a hat or sleeves or something like that. I bought this particularly for hat knitting, and I usually do magic loop whenever I do the hat knitting, because of the crown decreases. This is going to be a cabled hat, and so I thought it'd just be easier with the circular, and then I will switch to DPNs, or I'll do magic loop. And it has rained. Diamond, we made it outside and pottied and walked and everything before the rain, because she can't get her feet wet. If we go outside and then she sees it raining, she like turns and tries to walk back in. She'd rather hold it, and she will hold it too. She's good. The only time she's had accidents in the house is if her tummy's upset. Like one time she had diarrhea. That's bad for everybody. Ooh, Jesus. Or if if she thought she was getting in trouble, say she's gonna eat something I don't want her to eat, and I say, "Damn it," scream at her like that, she'll pee a little bit. What is it? Yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah. My diamond. Yeah. Who's a sweet girl? Who's a sweet girl? So, I have one more thing to show you. I had the urge to crochet. Haven't crocheted in a while since I finished my last what's it called? Virus shawl. And I just wanted to crochet. And recently, when I redid the living room and everything, so my stepmother came, and my dad too, and helped. Sometimes I let my stepmother come and do cleaning, like dusting and mopping and those kind of things, to help, just give her extra cash or whatever. And we really cleaned this last time. Cleaned and redecorated, rearranged everything. But I went through some of my yarn stash and kind of rearranged that, and then I had found this left over. I can't remember what I knit with this last time or why I got this giant ball, Pound of Love Lion brand, in the color lavender. I'm sure I made somebody something. But this is 100% acrylic. There's 16 ounces, or that's 1 pound. 1,020 yards, or 932 meters. 100% premium acrylic, and it's a 4-weight. I still say it's worth it, but who am I to know? But anyway, I wanted to knit something, so I decided, or crochet something. So I cast on this little, Oops, I'm sorry, Diamond. I just searched in YouTube for baby blankets, and I didn't want to just do double crochet, but this is going to be more like a little car seat blanket, really. And I didn't want to do a huge throw either, because I thought I might get bored. But this is a pretty good size, I think, for a car seat blanket, and then it'll. You know, I'll just kind of, well, we'll see how long it lasts, but I'm thinking just knitting it as long as the ball will let me, but then I'm not sure. We'll just have to see. Thing is, too, is I can't decide if I want to crochet the border in the same color or do white. Like do a single crochet border. Actually, I might do half double crochet border. But anyway, do a crochet border, and I can't decide if I want to do white or just use the lavender. But this is, if you can't tell, just a little shelf stitch thing. So really easy. I thought it was going to be hard. It's double crochets, and then, you know, it's a V-stitch and a shell stitch. And, you know, once you get that setup row, the chain, and then the setup rows going, it's like, it's easy. So I was trying to decide if I think I should have used a larger hook. I'm using my 5.5 millimeter. I use this for everything basically. But I think it'll be fine. And I think when I wash it, it'll soften up a whole lot more. I mean, it's soft, but it's acrylic soft, and not one of the more, I mean, there's some really nice acrylic yarns, and it's not one that's necessarily really nice, but it's not terrible either. Like, so I think though, once I put it in the washer, it's like this. It's so soft, but it softened up when I put it in the dryer. So this is an Afghan my Aunt Carol crocheted for me. I think it's it looks like a shell stitch. It's not the same pattern, but I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. I can't tell. I know these are shell stitches, though. Some kind of shells. Anyway, very, very soft. I think that's it, guys. So, let me think. I don't know if I told you, I finished reading or listening to The Book Thief. Very, very good. I'm still working on, the, Anne Rice, The Witching Hour. Still enjoying it. I did take a break from it, because I was reading some other things I had to read for work and like study stuff. So it's been I read some on it over the weekend, a couple of chapters, but I'm still finishing in the middle section there where you're reading some of the history of the Mayfair family. Trying not to give anything away for people who haven't read it, but I'm in that section, but I'm getting toward the end of it, so it's very interesting. And I find myself like thinking, I wonder what's it gonna turn into. So very exciting. But I just kind of, when I'm tired, I don't read as much, and I've been tired, so. And then reading the other stuff. I'm also listening, I started listening to this a long time ago, not the Hunger Games, I read those a long time ago, Game of Thrones. And It's pretty good. I think I enjoy listening to the audiobook. They're long. It's a long one. I enjoy listening to the audiobook. I'm not sure if I would have had enjoyed reading that, but maybe I would have. I don't know. What else did I tell you? I already talked about the knit along. I saw Hamilton. Oh my gosh. Did I see you guys since I've seen Hamilton? I don't know. But if you get the chance to go see Hamilton, it is so good. I loved it. It's humorous. It's full of talent. The lighting and the staging was absolutely wonderful. It was so cool. Like, it was full of movement, and there wasn't like a ton of cast members. I mean, there's a good bit, but it wasn't like a ton, but it felt like it was so alive and had so much depth. And that's partly because of the set. I don't want to give anything away, but how the set is designed and some of the fun stuff with that, and then the lighting. It just brought things, put extra movement and excitement. It was just high energy. I loved it. It's definitely, the hype is there for a reason, and it was really good. I'm so glad I got to go see it. I'm behind on some other movies, but I did yesterday. All I did was knit, and it was so nice just to be at home and relax. And I put on Netflix, and that morning, of course, I watched The Bakery Bears because they came out this past Friday. And then I watched Netflix basically all day, and I watched this show called Lost in Space. It was pretty good. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting it to be. It was different, but I enjoyed it. So it looks like they left it to have another season. I watched the whole season. So we'll see where that goes, I guess. But anyway, I think I'm going to let you go here. It's been almost 40 minutes, and I need to fix myself something to eat that hopefully will not make my stomach hurt. And, of course, little Diamond here. It always wants dinner, so. Diamond, you want to tell everybody goodbye? Huh? You want to tell everybody bye? You want to tell them goodbye? Tell them goodbye. Say goodbye. Prescription is find. I want you to reach out to someone that maybe you haven't spoken to in a while, but they pop up in your head frequently. Like you're thinking about them, and you think, oh, I need to go talk to them, or oh, I should send them a message. So your prescription is to do that. Because we get so busy, and these people that we really do care about, sometimes we get busy and we don't send them messages, or we get in this thing, well, if they weren't busy, if they would message me or whatnot, but or if they wanted to hang out, they would contact me. But if both people are thinking, well, if they really wanted to hang out, they would message me. Sometimes you both miss out. So, but reach out to someone that you haven't spoken to in a while, but they keep coming up in your thoughts, because I really believe that that happens for a reason, and you may not always know why they're coming up in your head, but sometimes it's just maybe they're putting out some energy into the universe, and that energy is coming to you, and you're picking up on that, and maybe they just need someone to say hello and let them know that you care about them, and send them a virtual hug if you want to, or set up a time to go meet for lunch or ice cream. Sounds good. Or something like that. I think it'll make you feel good, it'll make them feel good, and then everybody feels good and they're happy. So anyway, Hope you have a wonderful week. I will see you hopefully in a couple of weeks. And hopefully I'll have some more knitting to show you. And until then, goodbye. Say bye. Goodbye. Tell everybody goodbye. You know, you're the star of the show. Tell them. Tell them goodbye. Tell them goodbye. Oh, I gotta cut the camera off.